on.
These are pretty.
Okay.
They are pretty.
Yeah, they really pretty.
Is there any black ones?
Black and gold.
I'll take that.
Well, thank you, Ms. Michelle.
Thank
welcome,
you.
you're welcome. And we make them and we sell them and we donate them, so, if you want, anybody wants some special made and everything, what I'm saying.
I don't know if I got Miss Asia in there and I can't see who I am.
It's okay, I don't have to be on
Oh.
the.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I'll hold that camera for you.
Good.
Okay.
My head started hurting.
So this is Bob Freedom Mom,
What, my thing?
the program today.
Yeah, well, me and Kennetha is just, collaborating. I was already having this, and I talked to her, having her discussion panel. And I'm just like, it don't make sense to have two different events, we just come together. So, I try to find other people that,
I can get it at the.
are nonprofit, or got their own thing that they doing and just, trying to kill two birds with one stone. That way we cut down on costs with food and trying to have different dates for people to be running around, because as you see, turnout be slim anyway, so, yeah. But, so I'm the founder of Mothers Overcoming Marginal Systems, and this is a vision that God gave me in 2017. I'm a single mother of 4. That's my oldest daughter. My youngest, he is special needs. He has a rare genetic disorder known as Cornelia de Lange syndrome. And I have 16-year-old boy-girl twins. And so I'm originally from Indianapolis. I've been here for 16 years. And so one day I was sitting at home and, I just was like, this ain't what I imagined my life being a stay-at-home mother on welfare. So I got myself up and I went back to school to American Baptist College, where I got my bachelor's degree. And then I went back to Tribeca and got my master's in organizational leadership. And I started my doctorate degree, and like a month later, COVID came and the kids were out of school. So needless to say, I couldn't focus with all of that going on. So hopefully I can revisit that. I plan on revisiting that before, I turn 50. So I got about 5 years. Maybe. So Moms is to empower single mothers in the areas of education, employment, and counseling services. So until I can get my grants and funding, I was just started having these classes once a month. So this month is National Library Lovers Month, it's National Canned Food Month, and it's Black History Month. So why not tie all 3 of them in together? So that's when I reached out to Miss Asia, because I know she's very well equipped and educated about what the Nashville Library offers, what services, classes, whatever free was. She said everything is free, but anything that it offers, because she has been working for the library for 22 years. That is awesome. And so, she's very sweet, and we met when I first moved here and stayed in Edge Hill. And so, I was like, well, I could reach out to her. And so she put a little something together for us today. And then, as me and my sister here, who is so awesome, and she's really a little genius, just a little bitty body. And so we was talking, and so she was telling me about her Black History panel discussion that she wanted to do. So I'm all about collaboration. I believe that God has given each of us our own vision or goals and things in life. And so why am I going to be out here talking about putting her down for what she's trying to do? Instead, we can come together and be stronger together. So that's where I'm be at on sisterhood, unity. If the Black race can learn how to come together and work on one accord, we could be so much more powerful instead of being with the crab in the barrel mentality. So in this season, that's what it's all about, collaborating and not being in competition with one another. And so that's how we got here today. And so that's what I do. So if anybody has any questions, and somebody comes to me and just like Miss Rochelle, and they have a need, then I'm gonna try my best to find help, or find another organization that I can refer them to where they can get the help. Right now, I'm still kind of in my startup stage, so I'm bootstrapping, which means I'm buying and paying stuff out of my own pocket, so I don't really have the funding to do as much as I want to do yet. But once I get up and operating in the capacity that I desire, I want to be able to help moms like set personal goals, provide them with case management. If you need help with going back to school or filling out your FAFSA form, or resume services, if you need clothes to go to interviews, like that's what I want to be able to do. I want you to be able to reach your goals and not have any type of deterrent to keep you from, reaching your goals. So whatever I can do to help, that's what I want to be able to do, because it's not that a lot of people don't desire to be better, but as I'm learning living down south, some people just don't know what that looks like. Some people, and the word says, people perish because of a lack of knowledge. Some people don't know how to fill out a FAFSA form, ain't never seen it, don't know like where to begin. So for us, this is what we're here for, to help other people in the community be better. And so, that's my spill on it. I'm gonna turn the floor over to Miss Asia and see what she has to tell us, because I'm willing to learn too, because in my mind, I'm like, a lot of people only go to the library. The only time I'm gonna come to the library is if I need to print something, then I needed to fax something, if my Wi-Fi is down and I need to get on the computer for something. So I know a lot of people use it for those services. Outside of that, do a lot of people even know what the library offers? Outside of just coming and renting books and, CDs and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted her to come and educate us on what all services they offer for the children. These phones are like the devil, because they just be so glued, strolling all day long. Don't nobody pick up books no more. I just gave away like 3 or 4 boxes of books. I still found 2 more boxes of books that I got, because I just don't have the space since I've moved. But when my kids was growing up, I tried my best to read to them, because reading is fundamental. And, if you growing up in this, and you pick up a book and you reading about something in Africa or something clear across the world, or about aircrafts and stuff, this is what gives people hope. And this is what teaches people that there's something more than what I see every day. So reading is definitely important. And so, Miss Asia, go ahead.
Well, my name is Asia Nunn. I am a children's librarian for the Nashville Public Library. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I came down to Nashville in 1999 to go to the Tennessee State University. Got a job when I graduated, and I've been here ever since. It was not my desire to work at the library. When I was in college, I wanted to be an English teacher. I was going to teach Shakespeare. I was going to make children love words. But then I got to the library, I fell in love with it, and here I am. I started at downtown and then moved to Edge Hill and fell in love with working in smaller branches where you get to know the people, you get to know the needs, you get to know the community that you're serving. And I realized that, like Monique said, most people do not know how much the libraries offer. We are very fortunate here in Nashville that we have one of the best library systems in the country. Nashville Public Library wins awards all the time for a lot of our community engagement programs and different things that we offer. The library's motto is that books are only half the story. We offer, of course, have books. We have story times. We also have concerts. If you ever are downtown during the springtime, there's a program called Courtyard Concerts. They have different local acts that come downtown to the courtyard on the second floor, and they have concerts right there. We have different programs like adult literacy. If you know anyone who needs help with literacy, they don't have to be ashamed, afraid, or anything. They can actually come in and say, hey, I need an adult liter. Yes, ma'am.
So y'all do deal with the literacy?
Yes, ma'am. We have adult literacy programs. You can get help from someone through the library, or they have adult literacy kits. If it's someone who is not really big on necessarily having someone sit down with them, they can get a kit, go home, work on it themselves, or have someone that they're more comfortable with come in and work with them. We have a program called Community Passports. There are these little circles. You come, you use your library card, you check them out. You can go to the First, you can go to the Country Music Hall of Fame. There's Cheekwood. There's the African American Music Museum. There's a lot of different places. It's really good, but it's really hard to get one of those passes because they are very popular.
How does that work?
You just check it out. You check it out like you would check out a book. You go to the place and you give it to them, and they let you and whoever's with you in. It's free.
That's amazing. I saw that
So
one.
you get in for free with the passport?
We need passports.
They do tours of the Nashville Public Library's building downtown. The library is big on community outreach. If you can't come to us, we will find a way to come to you.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
If you want to have a story time, like for daycares, a lot of daycares have a lot of kids, but they don't have a lot of people who are willing to come and be volunteers, because you can't take kids out without having a certain number of volunteers or transportation, safe transportation for these kids. Call up your nearest library and say, hey, we would really love to have a story time. We'll send somebody out there. They'll do a story time, they'll do a craft. If we can't get out there, we might be able to send the puppet truck out there. It is our mobile puppet. If you've ever been downtown and you've been to the library and you've been in the kids section, there's this massive puppet stage. And they have these amazing puppet shows. They pack all that stuff up and they bring it to you. They make a stage. They do all of it. We have meeting spaces. Each branch has meeting spaces. They used to charge for it. It's all free now. All you have to do is book it. Like Monique did. She
I
said,
go
hey,
online, honey.
she said, I want this
on there and
space.
reserves them.
I'm gonna reserve this for my thing, and that's it. If we can accommodate you at that time, you'll get an email back saying, hey, you got it, or you get one back that says it's booked at that time. But most of the time, people don't know. They think that it's, something that can't be done, and it obviously can.
So you have cards?
I have a card, yes, ma'am.
Okay, can I? Yes.
I have to get in my mouth. I forgot to get some.
So excuse me real quick. So that's, I use it to have my classes because again, I don't have the money to rent spaces. So, this is a free space. And this is my first time at this one. I normally was at Bordeaux. And then for my May class, I think I'm gonna go to Edmondson Pike, since that's closest to where I live at now. But like, if it's somebody, that you're trying to help, maybe with a baby shower or.
Well, we're not allowed to do baby showers, but like, as far as like meetings like this, or.
Has to be community based.
Yeah, it has to be a community based, function. But other than that, that would be the only
Can
thing.
you, have people, to come and study or, the Bible or stuff like that?
Yes and no. You can have, say, like a Bible class or something like that. We don't, because we believe in the freedom to read and to study whatever it is that you want to. So we wouldn't tell you no.
Oh, okay.
Based on this,
And they also have study rooms, right? For
Right.
people
We
who
have
want
study
to
rooms. Just about all of the branches, unless they're really, really small, have private study rooms. Those are our first come, first serve You can stay in there all day if you need to. We all have computer labs, with access to public computers. There used to be limits on it, like you can only stay for
30
an hour,
minutes.
30 minutes, blah, blah,
Right,
blah,
I
blah, blah.
remember that.
There is no limit now. As long as there is no one behind that's waiting for a computer that has made a reservation for the computer that you're on, you can stay there as long as you like.
Wow.
And if you have a library card, you get $10 of free printing per month. Because at one point you had to pay for it all, and then during COVID, just to keep contact down, we did free printing. But I mean, of course, people abuse it, and so then we had to go back to pay for printing. But we also, this is kind of new, and it is more in the libraries where the need is great. We have housing counseling, people that come in and help people find housing, emergency housing.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That
Okay.
is really
You know,
new.
we needed to know that. Look.
Right, yep.
Right.
We didn't know that.
'Cause there are a lot of, some of the branches have people that actually work here who can help, like if you're in an emergency, they can help you get pushed to the top of the list.
I need
We
somebody
did
to
not
help
know
push
that.
top to the list.
Yeah,
There are
you
a
was
lot
just
of
talking
people
about
who
that.
are,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know how to even navigate
Yeah.
the housing situation, except for, going on MPHA,
Right.
filling out the
And
application
MPH shouldn't
and
take too long.
hoping they
Wow.
call you back.
Mm-hmm.
And some people need something now.
The
It's
guys.
not, it's not, oh, I have an apartment, but I want to move to this apartment.
It's the
Some people are
emergency.
like, I am living in my car,
Yeah.
or I'm not living anywhere, and I got these kids, and they told me I'm on a wait list. I can't wait. So we do
I
have
know
those
somebody
programs.
right now who needs
Exactly.
help.
Me
And
too.
I'm with it,
Plenty.
because I applied last year, and I
Wow.
just paid housing off. And so I'm like,
Wow.
what is, like, my daughter's finna graduate high school in May. And I'm proud of, like, I have a
Yes.
21-year-old son and an 18-year-old daughter, but I left her at my mom's house in Murfreesboro. My daughter, like, we've been through a lot. She's fight all the time and stuff like that. She's been stabbed out here and, stuff like that. But I just think that I know something. She's in Murfreesboro. She's going to graduate school. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is it taking so long to get this housing?
Yeah.
And I just paid y'all out.
Yeah. And the trauma is the fact that y'all have to be separated at all inside of, the situation.
Mm-hmm.
We also have programs for people seeking to become American citizens. It's called Pathways for New Americans. I'm not really familiar with it because I have not had to direct anyone to it, so I can't give you too much information about it, but I know that it is something that we've had for quite a few years, and it has helped quite a few people go from being, under the radar to being American citizens.
So in that process, they don't have to worry about like what they call immigration or whatever.
As long as you're trying to get that, you're not like on their list. Now, if you're just ducking and dodging from them, then
Yeah.
they're coming for you.
If you're on the pathway to trying to get
That's the
your
legitimate.
citizenship,
Mm.
they tend not to bother you, especially if you're not, if you're out here breaking the law, stuff
Right.
like that. But if you're here, you're trying to do the right thing, just make a better life for yourself, and you're trying to get citizenship the correct way, that pretty much leave you alone. For the gardeners, a lot of people like to garden.
Mm-hmm.
We have a program called the Nashville Seed Exchange. We don't have it here because we don't have the space for the seeds. But if you go to certain libraries, they all have, those old card catalog things where you pull out the drawer you had to go through. They're all filled seeds now.
So interesting to see.
So do you have to print
Vegetables.
them on that property? Or?
No, you take them home.
Okay.
They're for you.
She about to explain the other part of it.
You take it home, you go, you get the seeds, you go up to the desk, say, hey, I'm wanting these seeds. They're like, okay, check them out to you. You take them home, you plant them, you grow your flowers, grow your vegetables. One thing at Ed Show that I was really, really proud of, I had a plot in the community garden behind our library
I remember that.
that I made the kids participate with me.
I didn't know that was you.
Girl, yes.
Oh.
We built our plot, we built a, what's that thing?
Oh, the compost wheelbarrow?
No, a tiller. We built a tiller.
How you
That's
do
good
that?
right there, too.
We
Ooh,
built a tiller and we grew our vegetables from seed.
that's
That
awesome.
was, and I loved it because it taught the kids patience.
Mm,
It's, and it taught them to be proud of something that wasn't, a pair of Jordans or who my girlfriend is or how my hair looks, but like
exactly.
I did this and I
Wow.
went and I took care of it and we went out there every single day, rain or shine, to pull up weeds, to check on our plants, to make sure the animals weren't eating it. We didn't, they had to learn it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this.
And it's awesome.
And it could feed you at
It's
the end of the
calming.
day too.
And when things started to grow, they were so excited. They're like, Miss Asia, can we do it again? And I'm like, well, we have to wait for the
That's how it
certain
starts.
seasons
Mm-hmm.
to grow, certain things. And then I started to see them getting them on the computer saying, hey, Miss Asia, do we have these seeds? Because this is the time to plant these. I'm like, well, why don't you go look in the seed exchange boxes and see if we have these? So, it just taught them, it was like teaching them to be resourceful. Everything doesn't have, especially in places like here, the Edge Hill community where it is a food desert. These kids aren't getting vegetables except the vegetables that we were growing.
Right.
There's genealogy research. If you go downtown, we have one of the best genealogy research areas in
Downtown.
at the down. Well, I always tell people to go downtown because the people that work in the genealogy area
Mm.
are so good at what they do. Like you can go in there and say, my aunt lived on the corner of Edge Hill and 12th in 1947, and they're like, oh, and this was the addresses, and this, and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the civil rights room. This is just a really
That's interesting.
great thing to do. Oh, you can also have private events at the downtown library. I know someone who got married there.
What?
They have galas at the library. It's not
What about that fee? How does that work?
it's not as expensive as other event venues you might, because you're in the whole building and you're more so paying for the security as opposed to paying for the venue, because you have to have the metro security. That's the only thing. But it is it's actually a beautiful building.
They never rented them lights yet.
Yeah.
Which one?
Downtown. Okay. I seen it on the net.
The only thing is, it is so expensive to park there now. But,
Yeah.
But whatever. And then we have a fairly new program where you can check out the mobile hotspot and laptops and tablets.
Mm-hmm.
You get it for 3 weeks. You check it out. It's yours for 3 weeks. Just bring it back when you're finished. You don't bring it back, we charge you for it, but I mean, it's really cool because they've set it up so that people remember to bring it back. After 3 weeks, it cuts off.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, so now you just got this box that don't do anything, so it's like, bring it back, give us our stuff back. Several of the libraries have driver's license and tag renewal kiosks, so you don't have to go to.
They were at Bordeaux.
The whole
So you don't have to
table
go-
of
They're at Bordeaux. Like when you first walk in, they're like right here.
Yep.
I saw the bar.
Yep, and those are so convenient. Oh my goodness, I was at a meeting at the Goodlettsville Library one day, and I was thinking about how I had to drive all the way to the Howard School building to get my tags renewed, and I walked past them and I'm like,
Wait a minute. Okay, right there.
some of the branches have notary services. We don't have a notary here, but you can always, whatever branch is closest to you go in, they might have a notary there.
You have to pay them.
Just the regular notary.
How much is regular?
Depending on what you're getting notarized. Because I know I pay now, some things I pay like $7 for, and then something else I pay like 25. And this is the coolest and newest program that we have at the library. It's called the Library of Things. It is, how you might have a home project and you need a jackhammer.
Oh, what?
I mean, just something random. Just picking something. Okay, I won't say a jackhammer. A sewing machine. Everybody doesn't have a sewing machine in their house, but you might need it because, hey, I want to change the curtains, but I saw this video and this girl was making these curtains. I want to try it.
Cool.
But you don't want to go buy a whole sewing machine to make some curtains that you might not like when you're finished. You can check one out from the library.
That's awesome.
I mean, and some of the things that you can check out, they're different kinds of tools, sewing machines, ukuleles,
That'd be fun.
So where's this stuff being housed at?
the stuff is being housed downtown, but you can go to any library and say, hey, I would like to check out
Wow.
a harp. Yes, we do have a harp.
You probably have to come to the heart.
So how does that work as far as like,
You tell the librarians, I would like to check out the harp. We scan your card, we request it for you, they send it to whatever branch you want to pick it up from. You come get it. When you finish with it, you bring it back to the library.
I'm saying like as far as like, if something was to happen when it's in your possession, do you be expected to pay for the item or?
It really depends on
What
what
happened to
happened
it?
to it.
Mhm.
If it's something that happens because of wear and tear, of course not, we're not gonna charge you. But you took the harp and threw it down the stairs, then yeah, you gotta pay for that. But I mean,
Circumstantial.
yeah, it really just depends on what happened to it. If it's something we can fix, I mean, things happen, life happens. You don't necessarily mean to do it, but it happens. It's just like the stuff at home. You don't mean to drop the glasses, but you walk and then they slip out of your hands. What do you do? But most of the time, for most things, no, we don't charge. I mean, you don't get late fees for anything anymore. The only time we charge you is if you blatantly destroy something or you don't bring something back.
And that's a part of being appreciative that you
That-
even got it available.
I can keep a note of this. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was hearing.
If you go on the website, there's
That's
a blue.
not on this page.
Oh, there is not on this paper.
We can write it down for you.
But if you go on the library's website,
Mhm.
there's a blue banner and it has like books and all this stuff. There is a link that says services. If you click on that link, it brings up everything. I mean, I just put down the things that I thought were cool and I thought might be beneficial to this group. But there are so many other things like 3D printing and
What?
Mhm.
How you do that?
you can rent artwork.
That's
So
exciting.
there's
I
no
love art.
reason why these kids can't be out here,
Partaking in it.
doing
So-
things,
Yeah.
learning how to become entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Because they don't have
Ooh.
access to certain things. So see, that's why this space was
Yes.
important.
Wow.
And, that's why I try to tie things in with the month that I'll look up what's made known for. And then
That's
it'll give you a
good.
whole list. And so when I said, okay, Nashville
Mhm.
National Library Lovers Month, and I'm like, okay, well, and then you magically came to my mind because I'm like, that's the only person I know work for the library. So I didn't know half of this stuff. All I know
Okay.
was about like printing and using the
Library is-
laptops.
I tell like when people are always saying, "Oh, I bet that's an easy job," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
Okay.
It is not, especially in a neighborhood like this, because we are not so much a library. Because if you look at like the statistics
Yes,
of this library,
yes.
we don't check out a lot of books
Mhm.
at all.
Mhm.
But if
more
you
the
come in here,
services.
there's always people
Mhm.
who need stuff. Miss Edger, can you do this? Miss
Mhm.
Kim, I need this. I'm hungry.
Mhm.
Like we have food programs.
Yep.
The Bridge Ministry comes here every Thursday to give out food boxes on the same day that they do Genesis Career College.
Tell them the bridge.
The Bridge Ministry.
Is
The people
it
that
used to
stay
be
up
up
under
under
the
the
bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge? Oh, yeah.
They come in there,
Candy Snow.
They come.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come here
Yeah.
every Thursday, rain or shine, and they give out food.
So I was working at DHS, and that's when I started that.
Oh,
Up under the
hush.
bridge.
Oh,
We
that is
I
wonderful.
think that's where I remember you
See,
from.
that's
DA.
Rochelle.
That's why
I'm
And then it got a little too big for me, and so
Wow.
I got with another
did not
little,
know
a man
that.
had a big yellow truck.
Mhm.
And then it went on, and then I said, hey, y'all got this. I can only
Look
do.
at the seed though that grew into, that is
That's a
amazing.
very big seed because
Yes.
just about 2 years ago, before they stopped the people from being up under the bridge, the group that I'm with, we go there on
Mhm.
Saturdays, and we was feeding them on Saturdays. So
Mhm.
I knew that Rochelle, because we worked together in the service.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I knew she had, had a lot to do with that.
Yes.
But I am so excited about the library.
Yes.
I don't say this, because I've enjoyed this, and that's why I was quiet. Back in the 70s, when I was going to TSU, I worked for the library for 2 years.
Wow.
And I kept my kids up on it. But when I was growing up, see, I'm like 67. There was only one library we could go to, and that was in Allegheny. But we had a mobile bus,
I remember the
and we
mobile
would
bus.
have to get on that bus and we could check out books and bring it. And so I put my kids in it, which they're grown now, so that's many years ago.
I remember that.
But the thing that you're saying,
Mhm.
we did not have it back then.
Wow.
So I just have to applaud you all, because I think this is great. And I love the
Yes.
library.
Well,
When
you
I
know, the
worked for the
library-
library for 2 years, that's how I began to understand
Wow.
Black history.
Mhm.
For the first time in my life, when I worked for the library, they put me where well, they didn't call it back then Afro-America. We just came out and said
Wow. Okay.
Black history. And
I
that's
hate
why,
that. African-
that's why I
African
love
American.
Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I learned all that through the library.
Yes.
Through the library. So the library is so important, but I did not
Yes.
know. And I still affiliate with the one downtown,
Mhm.
because we didn't have to pay that much when I was with the Black film movie, we do
Okay.
individual movies.
Mhm.
When I left Casablanca School of
Mhm.
Drama, and that's been like 5-6 years ago. We did our production down there,
Mhm.
and
I
we
did
did
that. Yep.
we did it down there for 2 years. I loved it.
At the library?
At the library, they had like a little stage area and everything.
Oh man.
It was so wonderful. I don't think we had to pay for, we did not have to pay for parking, because they gave us like the 4th or the 2nd floor. If you parked on that level, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to. So the library is so amazing, but I didn't know it was doing all this.
And they are working on getting mental health counselors
Oh,
at each
yes.
branch.
Great.
Wow.
I know at this branch, we do, an after-school food program
Mhm.
every day, Monday through Friday, with, thankfully, with help from, you about to go? Okay. With, help from Greater Harvest Church. There's a lot going on in different libraries, but mainly we try to, I know here and a lot of the smaller branches like Hadley Park and Edge Hill, and you name it, they try to, cater more to the community.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the Mains and the Green Hills that are more, they're cookie cutter libraries. We give you books, we do story time, and that's
That's
kind of it. So
But if you walk into their, the library that they're affiliated with, if you walk in there and you know this stuff going on, they have to.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And they would be excited to help you because a lot of them don't get the people asking. And we don't unless we tell them like, hey, we blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, what? And I'm like,
This is beautiful.
So do y'all have somebody here at this actual location to help with housing? 'Cause
she's here on Monday.
are y'all closed this Monday for the holidays?
And if you, before you leave, come to the desk, I'll give you her number. It's right there on the desk. And she told us to tell everybody who calls her, if you call and she don't answer, keep calling, because she's probably on the phone helping someone else.
Cause I got a friend and she's needing somewhere for her and her kids to go right now. Something about, she was supposed to get some rental assistance and then, I don't know, but, I just texted her, so she was like, either get the information, she's at work right now. But this was awesome, so, what did I hear that really kind of,
If you check out a book
Mhm.
from one library, you can't return it to a
You
different
drop it
one.
off at any Nashville Public Library.
you got some stuff you've been holding on to for years.
Like me.
What?
Like me. Give us our stuff back, man.
They used to collect cans.
Whatever box,
Right.
it was in them boxes. We got 16 boxes of books. I don't know.
Laney, give us our books back.
I don't have no books. I want to check some books
Oh,
out.
this is what I was gonna say. I know.
That's
you
her that
know,
got some books that need
I
to go
don't
back.
believe that things happen, by circumstance and
Uh-huh.
coincidence. So I believe for you, this is part of your ministry.
Yes,
Because
Our whole ministry.
You know,
It's
these-
not for the paycheck, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
these kids, they
They-
may be lacking whatever they lacking at home.
Wow.
Like you said, I'm sure y'all responsible for feeding a lot of them a many a days, and so stuff like that.
Wow.
It ain't social work, case management. It's not about the pay. It's about the satisfaction of knowing that you get to help others.
Yes.
And so
That's beautiful.
so like that day I seen that little girl and I'm like, why is she bald headed? But I'm just like, I got something I can give her to maybe boost her confidence because she getting booked.
Yeah.
They talking about her
Oh,
probably.
but her.
But she is so
oh,
beautiful.
she's so beautiful.
So beautiful,
Oh,
and so
she's
I
such a
had just
good
got those earrings and I had tried the pair on and I'm, me, I'm playing. I'm like, I probably really ain't even gonna wear these, because they were so big. And so when she put them on, I was like, oh, you look so beautiful. I said, can I take your picture? And so, for me, that was rewarding that day. And so that's what it's about. Like, who can I put a smile on their face today? Who can I show God's love to today? Somebody might come in here hopeless with their head down, but when they leave out, whether it be a prayer, a word of encouragement, a hug, you gave them the strength that they need to keep pressing. So I just want to say thank you, for all that you do. I know I'll be reading your posts talking about, they smell like Funyuns and hot chips and fish grease and different things, but
That's the old people that get on my nerves.
yeah, but I'm just saying,
All
like,
I can do
I
is
know
post
that they
about,
love
like,
you,
this.
and you
You
probably
need
need a
to
lot.
place
to
the
say.
vent. You do.
Oh no, I
You
go
just say
out by my
safe.
car and scream.
Now,
Oh, we used to have a mobile shower that used to come on Thursday.
Oh,
I
that's
got to
good.
deal with them.
But they had to stop. He had to stop coming when they were starting to take down the tent,
Yes.
Cities, yeah.
and he was working with them, and so we were like, "Hey, the need is greater over there. We
Yeah.
understand."
Listen. That's
What I wanted to, when you were saying about, you said you feed the people in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
often or just?
Well, as far as the adults, we they get food. We have the bridge ministry coming on
Right.
Thursday.
What time do they come?
They get here about noon. They stay till they run out,
Yeah.
and then they leave us
Regardless
probably.
wherever they live in Nashville.
Well, if you walk up to that truck, they're gonna ask you
Right.
how many people are in your family.
Right.
They're gonna give you
That's
whatever
what
they
they do.
have for them. And then they usually leave us about 100 food bags,
Bags, okay.
and then we give them out as
As
needed.
Mhm.
But the kids, every day after school, Mr. Isaiah from Greater Harvest Church comes. He gets here about 3:45. He has a little lunch bag for them to
That's
have something to
beautiful.
eat after school.
Yes.
And then
And I know that, from what I experienced, I've been doing this for 20 years with Angels Restoration. And I've experienced so much with the children. Even though the parents have the food stamps and, and all that, they still don't get proper
Nutrition.
a lot of them
You
are
got that
selling.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of them are selling.
They sell them. There's a lot of people out here getting all these food stamps,
Right.
and they don't feed kids.
Or they
So-
buy them like hot Cheetos
Yeah,
and
stuff,
ramen.
yeah,
and-
not No.
or they live in neighborhoods like this where they can't get proper nutrition.
Cause it's a food desert.
Like,
Yeah.
what little bit of market they had here, they're torn it all down now.
Mhm.
They have.
So,
I remember it being rainbow meat out here. The
mm,
meat had a rainbow on it, literally. When we did have a store, and then the vegetables had nets and stuff. It's already rotten by the time you get to it.
and sometimes, like,
Yeah.
every couple weeks, Second Harvest comes through with their truck, and they bring, and then I know Project Return, where what was that? Was it CB's that Project Return said?
Yep.
See, Project Return comes and they have food boxes and they'll have meat and
Mhm.
vegetables and all
That's
that kind of
good.
stuff.
So the point I want to make is that
Mhm.
if you call me and say, hey, because we have different, different people donate, okay?
Mhm.
And you say, hey, this is what's going on right here.
Okay.
If one of our angels can bring it over here to you, and we try to do the need of it, you know what I'm saying? So if you let me know, and we'll try to do it the best we can.
Okay.
And that's my passion,
Mhm.
God's people.
Yep.
I believe that the children in neighborhoods like this, because I didn't grow up like this. I lived, as my father tells me, a very charmed life.
Wow.
I
There's
did.
nothing wrong with that.
And I'm very grateful for it. I went to
That's
private
awesome.
school and we went on vacation. So working in communities like this, I see
Mhm.
Yes.
how different it is and
Yeah.
how
The
that, the
contrast.
things that were just part of life for me, like going in the refrigerator, I want an apple. I'm gonna go in the refrigerator and get one.
Mhm.
I want an apple and I want to make some crackers with peanut butter and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to get a juice and I'm going to eat a popsicle and I'm going to do all this. And then I'm
Mhm.
going to turn on the TV and I'm going to lay on the couch. And, the little things that I took for granted are like big things for them. Like when I worked at Edgehill, a lot of the kids over there did not know that two of the best universities in the country are within walking distance of them.
Yes.
And so
Wow.
we would go on little field trips. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that out loud, 'cause I probably wasn't supposed to take them anywhere. And we would walk.
Hey. Yep.
And they're like, what is this? And I'm like, this is Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Like, this is Vanderbilt, honey. It's right here behind you.
Yeah. And
Or-
have no idea.
Like Belmont has this Read With Me Day. And I took about 30 kids from the library that is right a block away from them. And they're like, they didn't know it was there.
Yeah, they did.
And it would break it still breaks my heart. The things that that they don't know or that they don't get to see or can't experience because they have to live these lives that in a lot of cases are not their fault. So I try to make sure that when they come in here, the first thing they have to do when they come in here is be a kid. I'm the adult. If it's an adult problem, you bring it to me.
That's
You are
good.
a kid.
Yeah.
You're
That's they
not
should be.
dealing with the adult stuff.
Yep.
I'm the adult in this room. If it's a problem, you bring it to me. I will handle it.
Mhm.
You play on that computer. You do goofy stuff with your friends. You get on my nerves. Because I would rather you be in here getting on my nerves than out
Yeah,
there
but-
getting in
sure.
trouble.
That's
Yes,
it.
because you could
So-
see them. They right
And
before
the
you.
library has always been there for kids.
It's a safe.
When
Yeah.
we grew up so poor. I mean, we was
Right.
poor folk.
And we
Just poor
had so
folk.
many resources for them.
And it was the
Yeah.
library that we could go to after school.
Mhm.
They offered us a modern dance class and we
Ooh,
did
yes.
arts and craft.
Mhm.
These things kept us elevated and we didn't have to pay for it.
Mhm.
It's all
You know,
free.
yes, it was all free for us.
So I do have a question. Sorry.
We didn't have
Bring
one
me
in my
some
neighborhood.
information.
I used to be at the
Yeah.
libraries.
No, I'm saying when I was growing up, I didn't have one in my
Hmm.
neighborhood.
I like the
'Cause
mobile
my mother didn't
option.
drive.
Yeah, I like the mobile option because we used to be able to do the puppets. I love the puppet show.
I've
It's really
always
fun.
seen them.
Uh-huh.
And then the mobile library that was back in the 60s would come to the project.
was still when I was little.
Yeah.
When I was
It was
little,
a
it came
big old
out.
blue bus.
Mhm.
They used to, and Johnny Cash used to drive a bus through the
Yes.
project.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I
like,
didn't
it's
know
not no
that.
reason why these kids ain't got stuff they can be doing, or,
Yeah.
Did they have like the hobby shop, the YES? They have that
over the
bridge, because
They've been
Mr.
around a long
Elliott, he's still
time,
retired now, so
He did. I didn't
He's
know
a-
that.
he's actually driving for MTA now.
Shut up.
Yes, he's driving MTA.
I always seen him driving that
I
black
wanted to say to you,
Mm-hmm.
it happened in enlightening. It really is.
Yeah.
And I really, I gotta go, but I really want y'all to know, I'm really serious about if I can help. You know?
Yeah.
Some days, some things we don't have,
Yeah.
but we always find somebody that will try
Is
to
willing.
help
Mm-hmm.
and aid. You see what I'm saying? And so I want y'all to know, reach out,
Yeah.
Charlesetta, y'all got, that's her, she got my number.
Yes.
She's got my number, if anything that we can help. Me and you tried to connect at that other place, but it didn't happen. We did a card, but
Did you get my
that's
card?
okay. I gave you my card.
Yeah.
But, if we can, and when I was I couldn't get back I didn't know how to get back in touch with you, so, what's her name?
Me?
No, the one got the shot.
Victoria.
Yeah, her.
Okay.
And I told her to try to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
And I think she was busy around that time, so I wanted to say, because I was trying to see if I can find something for, because I knew you was looking for a place to live.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
situated.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
And I had to describe you to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was wondering how you look. I said, she's the one with the pretty face. I said, it looked like she smiles quite a bit.
That's a good thing.
I said, she's the one that gave the testimony.
That's good.
And that's what
And then
hit
she
me.
remembered you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got somewhere, I got my keys like right before, the day before, or so
Ooh.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's
Because
beautiful.
I had been praying for you and your family.
Well, thank you.
And I said, I hope she calls me. And,
Yeah.
you never did call me. And then I told Centuria.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, and she got busy.
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay. I said, well, it's not God's will at this point in time.
And
So
look
God
at
brought it
y'all
back
right
to us,
here.
right
I
back to
had,
us.
I before I moved to the Bordeaux area, I stayed on Noblesville and Bell Road. So I was in Swiss Ridge and Swiss View now, both of them are. And so I had went to, it was Valley Brook back then,
Okay.
like a year or so ago when he gave me 30 days to move. And that was like just them not turning in the paperwork that they needed to turn in. So once they figured out, that's what I had been trying to tell him. He was like, oh, well, you ain't got to move. So I had filled out for places then. And so a couple of them had called me. And so, I was like, oh, I don't have to move now. And so I was like, let me call and check with Valley Brook, because I remember I went out there and paid the application fee and everything. So she was like, you'll probably have to fill out a new application. We done switched management and all this and all that. So I'm like, I'm not trying to keep paying money and I'm not gonna have nowhere to move. So
Yeah.
somebody called me like a couple weeks later and was like, I was calling to set you an appointment to come fill out the application. And I thought it was over there off of the other townhome somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, who is this? And so she was like, this is Mountain Brook. And so
Oh, nice.
I was like, well, if I pay to fill out the application, do you have an available unit? Because we need somewhere to go and I don't have money to keep spending for these fees.
Exactly.
So she was like, yeah, come fill out the application. So it took maybe like a month or a little bit longer, maybe, for Section 8 and everything to come and inspect and all that stuff. But we got in there. So
That's
we've been in
good.
there. And, I'm thankful that we got our own place again.
Yes.
It's not always what we want, but,
It's not,
I ain't
it's
gotta
not
be
the want,
bothered with
it's the
nobody
need.
else. Right.
Yes.
It's the need, and
Yes.
that's what I deal with.
Man.
A lot of people, you think you're being mean and harsh, but it's not. It's not
Yeah.
mean and harsh. It's right and truth and truth. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I have to tell people, I said, you don't take stuff that you don't need.
Yes.
And
You
that's
leave it for
one
the
of
people that need
and
it.
somebody's going through something so much more
Yes.
crucial than yours
Yes.
situation, And I try to tell
Mhm.
that's the and a lot of people think, well, you know that no,
No.
I have to tell you the truth
Yeah.
because that's
At
what's
all
gonna make us
times.
free
At
right
all
there.
times. Yep.
Because if we don't give truth,
Yeah.
we don't have anything.
Right.
If I tell you something and
Yeah.
I see you in error or I'm in error, guess what?
We
We need to,
communicate that.
we need to tell each
Yes,
other.
yes, that's
And
beautiful.
we have to grow.
Yes,
We can't just keep staying right here. You know
stagnant,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
ma'am.
So if we stay right here,
Mm-hmm,
you're causing somebody else to stumble.
stumbling block.
Because
Yep.
guess what? They're trying to get past here
Yes,
and you still doing this.
yes,
And you causing the next person.
it's
Hold them
counterproductive.
up.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
I
love
wanted
is
to
what
say-
love does. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
wanted to say,
If I love you, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you truth.
yeah, more than
Truth
anything.
is-
Yeah.
Truth is truth will make us free.
Set you free.
So-
Yep. I wanted to say before Ms. Rochelle left, thank you so much for coming for one thing. I consider you and Ms. Charlesetta legends, cause like I have seen y'all sing, yes, and y'all are humble. That's one thing about y'all, and just we have to give you your flowers and your accolades while you yet
That's
are
what we
here.
said.
So just as a younger person, I do give y'all flowers, and that's why I call upon you when you know it's something that's going on, and we want your voices to be heard. Just like it's been blocking from y'all speaking out and things like that. And we the next generation, we better reach back and give homage to the ones that came before us.
Yes,
So
and to you.
yeah,
And
we
I
just-
always come
man.
to the little rebel.
Always fire popper.
And then one thing as we go
Yeah.
in this on this journey we're on, make sure we check again.
Yes.
Check again.
Uh-huh.
Check
Always.
ourselves and our motives.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we do our
Exactly.
motives and
They better still
we're gonna be
align.
all right.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
They gonna align with the kingdom.
It do.
Yeah.
But if we know that we are not in line,
Yeah.
you let your sister say, "Hey, sister,
Yes.
you're not.
Yes.
That's not
Yeah.
accurate."
Yeah.
And I'm not accurate.
Yeah.
So let's do this thing right.
None of
You know what
us
I'm
is
saying?
perfect. Yep. Yep.
No, we are striving for what? Perfection.
Mhm.
Every day.
Striving for it.
It's a
Yep.
strive for every day. And if we don't never do the perfection,
Hey.
then
Yeah.
you can't keep saying that, well, I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect, but he is.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He's
We
in
are through
us.
him.
If he's
Period.
in us,
Yep.
then we're gonna strive for that perfection.
Yep.
And we guess what? I'm not gonna continue to use that.
Yep.
Because you know,
Yep.
hey, y'all, well, no, they gonna be all right. No, they not all right. We're not gonna be all right if we don't keep
Monique
going.
said it at
Keep
the
it moving.
beginning. I wrote that
And then you
down.
gotta think about what
Yeah.
Rita said, she made a good point. If God gives me $25
Yeah.
and he tells me to give it to you, and I don't give it to you because I wanna keep it for myself.
I'm
I'm wrong.
disobedient. Yeah,
I'm
at that
disobedient.
point. Yep.
And nothing's good gonna come from that.
Yep.
When God tells you to do something, somebody do it.
Yep.
I've been poor,
Yep.
I've been homeless,
Yep.
I have been without food for not 1 week, but 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that got me through.
Amen.
Okay? I have had a hard time. When I was growing up,
Ooh.
we never had a stable home.
Yeah.
We had a dad that worked at the post office, but he only gave my mother $10 a week.
Mhm.
And then he stopped doing that. So everywhere we went, we
Yes.
got put out
Yeah.
with no running water,
Electricity.
no electricity,
Mhm.
and no food. And we didn't have the food banks back in the
Okay.
60s.
Like
Like they
hell.
do now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, but one thing about it, when
Wow.
my mother, when they told her, so we got a project for you in Crescent Taylor, she was so happy.
Sis,
Sit, baby, come here.
you need some food?
I'm sorry,
You need some spaghetti and salad? Take some.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Let me fix you a couple.
Yeah.
You got some kids?
We just gonna continue to discuss.
Oh, yeah. But one
Yeah.
thing about it, she was so happy to get in that project.
Yes.
We had gas heats.
We're gonna have running water,
Running water,
electricity.
and
Yes.
electricity. So we need to be grateful for
Of
what
what we
God
got.
gives to us.
That's right.
It's a
Amen.
song.
And we have to get out of that. This ain't what I want.
Yes.
That's what God has
God
Need.
just give you.
Yeah.
That's right. We got to get away from
It's a
that.
song that came up. Yeah, what?
I'm gonna be getting out of here too.
You gonna make me sound like
Well.
you know you're not, you gotta ask first.
Yeah, we did want to talk about like we're not gonna do the Devil's Punch Bowl, but I just kind of want to give a synopsis of what I heard and everything through the thing.
Baby, I appreciate it.
But I feel like this whole thing has been a God did it type of moment, and like it all flowed together for the good of the kingdom, and it's exactly what it was supposed to be, and it builds partnerships. Like how Mom was saying, the mothers over marginalized systems. And just, I also love the library. We're always here doing like I have a testimony and different programs with the youth and everything like that. So that's just, man, we love, this is our library. So, yes.
I appreciate it. Now, if you ever need me, just give me she'll give me my number.
Okay, man, I appreciate it. 'Cause I'm so ready to get this place.
Yeah.
I've been gone from JC now for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
And be tiny.
Mhm.
Process.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yes,
Yup.
ma'am.
So don't, be patient
Yeah.
and long suffering, and he will make sure you get what you need.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. I just hope to come through before my daughter's graduation.
Well, if it's his will, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.